Hi guys, my name is Tamara Chambers and this is Tamara's Never Seen. Today I was filming Nostalgia Critic and I played a lot of different characters and I took makeup on and off and I looked like I've been scrubbing my face with a sponge all day. Just basically the aesthetic I'm going for, so really good. It's just a bun flip. Bun flip! Tonight I am watching The Exorcist for the first time, all the way through. In high school, I started watching it with some friends, Frank and Andy, and we watched, I think it was them, we watched for, I think, the first 20 minutes, and then we turned it off because it was like a dig site excavation in Egypt, and we had no interest in it. So tonight I'm going to watch the full thing for the first time. Very excited. Realizing some high school dreams tonight, guys. Let's do it.
Tamara's Never Seen.
Tamtoberfest.
Solid. Let's just jump right in, and I am going to skip right over that first excavation dig scene because who cares? Who cares about that scene? I got to the end of the movie and I appreciated it because of the build that it gave, but gosh dang almighty alive. That was so boring. So you see Chris, the mom, the actress, and you see her daughter Regan, very cute little girl-on-girl team there, mother and daughter. So this movie does this incredible build to the end, where if you just jump to it like a lot of possession movies do, you don't get the story, and then the scary parts aren't scary, because it's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. She's possessed. Big whoop. Not a sentence I've ever said before. Whereas in this movie, you get a lot of story. Almost too much story, but not. It's perfect. It just takes a second to get into it. But you see the Ouija board scene, and you see Howdy Doody. Nope, try again, Tamara. Captain Howdy. And then that ends up being the demon that's possessing her. And by this point, you've met the father, Damien, who has a very depressing life. And he says that he's lost his faith, and his mother is in this insane asylum because they can't afford a real hospital, and she dies, and it's like super heartbreaking, and it's emotion that you get in like a dramatic film. It's not emotion that you normally get in like a scary movie, at least not done well. Cut to a bunch of rich people at a party. Regan sleepwalks downstairs, says you're all gonna die up there, and then pees her pants. Then her bed starts rocking, and not in the good way. So Chris takes her to the doctor, obviously, and the doctor's like, it's a lesion in her brain, because doctors know everything. Sarcasm. What? So they do this painful spinal tap, I think, on Regan, and they don't find anything on her brain, which stresses me out. Because tests on tests on tests, for anyone, but especially a child, when it's painful like that, that is like a very... I hate using this word. This is like a very triggering thing for me. It makes me very, I don't hate use that word, whatever. It is. It makes me uncomfortable. But Chris calls the doctors because Regan is going crazy and she's like flailing in her bed, and the doctors come and Regan starts yelling, "F me, f me, f me." And then Regan bitch slaps the crap out of the doctor's face. It's an impressive slap. And the doctor's trying to piece it together, like, what could it be? And he's like, are there drugs in the house? And Chris is like, no. He's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I'm sure. I don't even smoke grass. Like, well, there is a time and place for everything. And girl, have at it. There's a lot of sexual elements to Regan's possession. For a movie that was made in the time that it was made, I think it must have been extremely shocking to see this in theaters. I mean, the scary elements aside, like just the sexual aspects. Like she gets hypnotized, Regan gets hypnotized, and she grabs the hypnotist's crotch. And then later she finds a crucifix in her bed and she's like stabbing her vagina with it, and then she like pushes Chris's face on it. It's intense. But I feel like current movies that are like horror films that are just trying to give you like a shock thing. This, maybe because of that, like I'm desensitized, but this doesn't feel like that. This feels like it's done in a way that's not like shock, it's done in a way that's like, oh crap, this is not good. You know what, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it feels like it's well done versus just like, maybe if we shock him enough, it'll be scary and interesting and artful. So Chris meets up with the father and she tries not to tell him about Regan at first. It's like a very casual conversation. She's like, oh, how's the weather? Did you have a sandwich for lunch? How do you perform an exorcism? What? The father explains to her that since they've learned about mental illness and science, that exorcisms aren't generally performed anymore. And while I love the emphasis, there's a lot of emphasis on mental illness and scientific research in this movie. It's about time to perform an exorcism on this girl. Chop chop. I mean, your mother sucks in hell. Let's just, I mean, come on. It's time. Side note, I am weirdly attracted to the priest, so take that as you will. So Damien goes to see Regan, and that's when she throws up the green split pea soup that I've heard so much about my whole life. Exorcism, split pea soup, hand in hand. And he weirdly doesn't think that she's possessed yet. And I admire his hesitance to not do an unnecessary and potentially harmful exorcism. But one of the first parts in the movie that scared me versus it just being an uncomfortable moment is Damien records her speaking a different language. And he brings it to another priest and is like, is this cause for an exorcism? And the priest is like, no, because it's English. It's just in reverse. And he plays it back. And there's something really creepy about English in reverse. Also, what she was saying was super scary, like give her time to die, fear the priest, let us kill her. That's horrifying. That's so scary. Ugh. Also, the makeup and effects are dated, but still dated in a good way. It doesn't take me out of being scared. So that means they hold up. Literally the definition. So they decide that this priest named Marin should do the exorcism, and oh shit, that's the guy who's digging up shit in Egypt and taking names in the beginning. Things matched up, whoa! They perform the exorcism, and there's so much I can say about it, but really what I took from the whole scene is not many horror films can give you such a scary scene without jump scares. It's like this lingering fear versus cheap crap. Just little things, like there's intense cold breath coming out the whole time, and it's a slow build into it. It is the best possession movie I have ever seen. And I know it's the original, so it's the possession movie. So Damien is in there, and the demon is talking as his dead mother to Damien, saying that it's his fault that she died, and talking in Greek, which is obviously a language that Regan doesn't know. So he leaves to catch his breath, and he comes back in, and Marin is dead, and the demon is just sitting there on the bed like, oh, there's a thing there. The demon is just sitting there on the bed like, what up? What up, playa? So Damien freaks out and starts beating up Regan and is like, take me instead, to the demon, it was so intense. And so the demon enters Damien, he resists it, and he's like, no, and he just jumps out a window and dies. And Chris walks in, she's like not sure, and she's like sees her child's eyes for the first time in a long time and like goes and hugs her. And it's very intense and so good. It was so good. I cannot believe that I waited this long. Like, Back to the Future, whatever. Jurassic Park, fine. But I love scary movies, and so it's so weird that I haven't seen this one, because I complain all the time that there aren't any scary movies that are good that I can watch for the first time. Like, I've seen all the good ones, and there's just like a ton of crap that I just have no interest in seeing at all. And this was like new content for me to watch and like devour. Was so good. One of the most unnerving aspects for me was Chris having to be in this house with this demon for so long. There was such this long process of figuring out what was wrong with her. There's a lesion on her head. Is she, possessed? Is she dying? I don't know. How long do you think it is? Months? A month? A couple weeks? To live with a demon in your house? And now I just want to watch a bunch of scary movies. So please comment with your favorite scary movie, because I just need more scary content. Oh, I have such a huge surprise for you guys. I'm so excited right now. I almost forgot. He's so comfy. How you doing? Is that too bright? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's so mean. Okay. All right. He's so mad at me. I'm covered in cat hair now. See you next week.
Okay, so let me say this out loud just so that we're clear. You want me to do hair flips, lots of hair flips, bring a minimum of 2 cats, and say love a lot. Okay, I'm very excited to be in the next Tamara's Never Seen. This is very exciting. Yes, I am very excited. Yes, I love it. Yes, I love you. I love everything. Everything's wonderful. Great. Excellent. Fantastic. Awesome. Great. Bye. God, the things I do to keep Tamara happy. She better do a lot of goofy shit in the next behind the scenes.